Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Tiana's Cooking TV. Today I'm going to be making this delicious sweet potato honey bun cake made with glazed icing, brown sugar filling, and a sweet potato cake mix. So guys, make sure that you stay tuned for the recipe.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons. They just making room for what I'm on now. I don't got a clue, but I know the one who does know how. Oh wow, it's like I'm learning.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to be working with a large sweet potato, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start peeling that and make sure that all the skin is nicely peeled off. And then after that I'm going to slice that in half, and I'm going to start dicing those into pieces. Now you guys can dice those into large pieces, but if you want your sweet potatoes to cook a lot faster, then I definitely recommend dicing those into smaller pieces. And don't forget to head over to tianascookingtv.com to purchase your Pretty Girls Love to Cook apron and t-shirt, and make sure that you guys order as soon as possible so that you guys can receive it in time for Christmas. And if you would like a direct link to the website, just make sure that you check the description box below. Next, I'm just going to add in my sweet potatoes to my pot, and I'm going to make sure that that is nice and tender. And then I'm going to start working on the brown sugar mixture. So I'm adding in my brown sugar and a little bit of cinnamon and some ground nutmeg, and then I'm just going to stir that all together in my bowl and make sure that all the ingredients are nicely combined. And then I'm going to start working on my glaze. So I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of butter into my ramekin, and I'm going to melt that in the microwave. And then I have my powdered sugar in my bowl, so I'm just going to add in my melted butter, and then I'm going to be adding in my vanilla, and you guys can use any type of vanilla that you want to. And I'm just going to slowly start adding in my milk. Now I've used some almond milk for this recipe, but you definitely can use whole milk, and you're just going to stir that together. And if it's too thick, you can add some more milk and just start adding more milk until it's the consistency of your choice. Okay, so now I'm going to start mixing together my food coloring. Since I couldn't find any orange food coloring at the grocery store, I just added a little bit of red and yellow food coloring to a ramekin and mixed that all together, and then I tested it on a paper towel to see how orange it was. And you guys are going to use a lot more yellow than you are going to use red. Okay, so next I have my mixer, and I'm going to be adding in my sweet potatoes to that, and I'm just going to start mixing those all together just to make sure that the sweet potatoes are nice and smooth. And you guys are going to have to do this a couple of times, so just make sure that you have a spoon and scrape down your sides, and then you're just going to turn that mixer back on high and start blending that all together until it's nicely smooth. And then you're going to measure the ingredients into a cup measure, and you're only going to be using about a cup of the sweet potatoes for this recipe. The rest of it is your choice on what you want to do with the extra sweet potatoes. Okay, and I'm going to start making the cake mix batter. So I'm using a yellow box cake mix, and I'm adding in about 4 eggs and a few tablespoons of vanilla. Okay, and then I'm going to add in about 3/4 cup of canola oil. And of course, you guys, it's definitely up to you as to what type of oil that you want to add. You can also use butter, just be mindful of the salt, or you can use unsalted butter. And then I'm going to be adding in about 3/4 cups of sour cream, and I'm adding in a few teaspoons of allspice and some cinnamon. And then we are going to mix that all together until it is nice and smooth. Once your cake batter is fully combined, then you're going to start adding in your food coloring a little bit at a time. Now it's not orange enough for me at this point, so I'm just going to start adding in more food coloring until it is to the color of my liking. So I wasn't sure how much more to add. I was going to just go ahead and add in the sweet potatoes to see how orange it would come out once I got that mixed together, and it didn't quite come out the color I wanted it to, so I did add some more food coloring to it. Okay guys, and then once everything is fully combined, I added some butter to a 9-inch square pan, and I guess this is optional depending on if you guys want to butter your pan or not. I'm not really sure how it'll turn out, but that's what I did, and I think it gives it some good flavor as well. So as you can see, I did add more food coloring, so that's why it's a little bit more orange right now. And then I'm just going to evenly spread in the cake batter and make sure that it's nice and smooth, and you guys can kind of move the pan around to make sure that it's really flat. Okay, and then I started adding in the brown sugar and just making sure that it's nice and spread it out throughout the pan. And then after that, I just started adding on the next layer of the cake mix and just started smoothing that out, making sure that I get all the corners and the edges. Okay, and after I finished smoothing out the cake mix, I just went ahead and grabbed a chopstick and I started kind of swirling the mix together just to make sure that you get a really good swirl on the inside. And then I just baked it in the oven at 350 for 35 minutes, and I just let my cake cool just a little bit. Okay, and then I just started adding in all of the glaze on top of that and just making sure that it's nice and smooth, getting all of the edges, making sure that it seeps down on the cracks too. And I did let my glaze kind of dry out just a little bit, and it'll kind of, you know, start to get clear. And then once you're finished smoothing it out, it should look just like that, and then it'll be ready to serve. So I'm just going to slice mine up and kind of see how it looks in the middle. I'm definitely anxious for this recipe, and I must say it absolutely looks so good, and it tastes so good as well. Look how nice that glaze looks on that. Doesn't that look so good? And guys, I definitely recommend making this delicious sweet potato honey bun cake for Thanksgiving. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, so guys, make sure that you save this video for later. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about the video, and if you make the recipe, let me know how it turns out. Save this video for later and give this video a thumbs up. And guys, thank you so much for watching.